what are the benefits. We're not talking about the how here. We're just talking about why do companies use the balanced scorecard. You know my new framework, and that is SMS goal. No one else knows about this. This is so special that I'm bringing to your class. It's not in a textbook. It's something I made up over studying this over 5 years. And the SMS stands for Strategic Objectives, Measures and Systems Thinking. Thursday we looked at the benefits, which was some of the goal line, on-time decision-making, accurate decision-making and learning. We covered that as I introduced Balanced Scorecard to you last Thursday. But on Saturday we focused on strategic objectives. Today we're going to look at systems thinking. On Thursday and onwards we're going to look at measurement. Okay, one student said, oh, you know, after the first 3 weeks we didn't get any more measurement. We're going to get more measurement now. Measurement's going to come back and measure you, so watch out. All right, so this is what you do if you're in a consulting engagement. You've got the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it's the 6th step where you start to think about measurement, but not on the first step. It was always strategy first, then measurement second. Part of formulating the strategy was the customer value about your organisation, your service, your product, working out that customer preference map. You know that because you did that on Saturday. Hands up if you were here on Saturday. Some of you, that's great. Okay, that's good. You know that, and you know that how to beat the competitors, how to beat the customer. You know how to work out your strategic competitive advantage. And I showed you a practical way. My job wasn't to show you the theory. Okay, head knowledge is good. But head knowledge without the practice is sterile. Okay? My job is to give you the head knowledge and the practice. And the practice, this is the practice here, ladies and gentlemen. This is not the head knowledge or the theory, the blue ocean strategy or vertical integration or cost leadership or differentiation. The point of my discussions at IVLE about blue ocean strategy was just to answer some questions or queries. Is there overlap? Is it something different? Is it something old? Sometimes it's like wine in new wine, old wine in new bottles. Okay? It's kind of the same thing but dressed up in a different way to sell millions of copies of books. Okay? In the end, you can have all these strategic archetypes. You can have the Porter framework. You can have the cost differentiation, product leadership. You can cost leadership, product differentiation framework. You can have blue ocean strategy. You can do all this. But you've got to understand the how, and the how is what you're going to get in in today's session. And the how is, how do you bring people together like you who all work together? And I gave you an example on Saturday how you can get everyone into agreement about, okay, why do customers come to us? Why do competitors buy from us? Remember, I asked you to pick out 5 items. Is that right? 5 items, and then you rank one. You come up with one that was highest. Well, someone will say, well, the second most highest, we should do that. Okay, we'll do that next year. Then we'll rotate around. Everyone gets a piece of the pie in terms of what they want to be the #1 dominant strategy we want to focus on for the next 12 months. So the big point that I think was a takeaway on Saturday, one of the big points was the how is all about getting everyone involved in the decision-making process. It's not like the leader at the top saying, this is our strategy, and you all must follow it. If that's the case, then you lose the P in RAP. Remember what RAP is? RAP, results controls, action controls, people controls. You lose the P in the RAP if you just have centralised saying, this is our strategy, go and do it. If you don't do it, then you're fired. You lose the culture. You lose the whole essence of how do you actually implement a sustainable strategy. Sustainable means that it repeats, 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 repeats. New employees come in, other employees share with them through the culture. This is our strategy. This is what we're focusing on. Day in, day out. This is how you deal with the customers, day in, day out. That's the culture. So we really, when we're talking about the how, it's about getting the culture right. To get the culture right, you're not going to get it with someone at top telling you this is what we're going to do. So what I introduced to you on Saturday was, here is a framework by which we can get everyone in the organisation involved to come to agreement, to discuss, to disagree, debate. Today I'm going to give you another framework where you can do the same. And you'll notice we're going to do that on Thursday. And the more you do that, then you get agreement. Then once you get some sort of stability and agreement about the structure, then you can start to have some measures in place. Okay, so let's move on. That's our SCA. We did that on Saturday. Now, the other thing we did on Saturday was the chipset, remember? Chipset on Saturday? Well, what was special about chipset was it had a cost leadership type strategy. Why did that matter? Well, it mattered for what financials we looked at in the balanced scorecard. Remember what I said? Oh, cross out this part. We're not looking at that. We want to know what the strategy is based on the customer preference map. There's our strategy, cost leadership strategy. Now we can go, oh, if it's cost leadership strategy, we're going to be focusing on productivity and price, right? No. It's going to be productivity and growth. If it's differentiation strategy, it's going to be growth and price. You with me on that? Okay, go back and have a look at videos. And the big point we want to make on the Saturday was linking the type of strategy to the type of financial results measure. Growth, price, or productivity. Remember that? That's the first start of the balanced scorecard. And that's the first part. This is the how. How do we link a certain strategy to the type of metrics that we're focusing on? That's what you learned on Saturday. You did that. And I told you, oh, don't worry about the strategy map. Don't worry about this part here. Don't worry about this part here. Don't worry about this part here. Let's just get to the good stuff. We've got the type of strategy. We've got financial measures. Now today, I'm going to say, no. Just hang on, slow down, hold your horses. Woo, boy. Okay, we've got to look at this now. We have to look at this now. You see, with financials, we don't care about the process. With the financials, if you've got a certain strategy, well, if it's product differentiation, then we want to see margin improvement. If it's product differentiation, we want to see market growth. If it's cost leadership, then we're looking for productivity improvement. You see the thing, you're looking for different things depending on the strategy. That is the top line of the balanced scorecard. That is the financial. From here on onwards, we're looking below the financial now. We're looking at customer, the process, the learning and growth. We're not looking at the financial. All right? So this is an example of some of the processes that Chipset may go through to improve its productivity. Why? Because productivity is one of the KPIs it needs to improve on. Are you with me? Are you hearing me on this? I think you're with me here. This is good. I can see the nodding of the heads. Two of you. That's all right. Okay, so we have a balanced scorecard. Chipset. There's the balanced scorecard. The job is not for me to go through this. My job today is to teach you these different perspectives, how to do a strategy map, how to understand systems. So now, in the future, next week, week after, you can go back to this example and say, oh, I follow that now. So my job is not to present Chipset as a case study and then get you to memorize it. My job is to teach you how do you actually, what are the steps you take in developing a strategy map. Then measurement. You can go back to that and then have a better understanding of that case. All right, so that's one of the goals of what we're going to take you through in the next week. And there's some examples of scorecard metrics. I'm not going to waste your time with that. We can come back to that. This is what we did on Saturday, 1, 2, and 3. Notice, productivity gain, revenue growth are things that are jumping out because Chipset is following a cost leadership strategy. Now, below that, we have learning and growth, we have processes, and we have customer. And that's what we've got to focus on today. Here we go. Oh, there's the sound for the student that didn't like sound in the PowerPoint slides. Now you know that what we have here is the cause and effect diagram, the cause and effect. Now we're on to the good stuff. I love this PowerPoint because there's me having a shower, and you notice there's an adjustment, there's the heat, and then there's the temperature detection, which is your skin, so forth, right? So here's the thing that's going to help glue everything together over the next 3 weeks. And you know that because you've seen a video at the start of this course that talks about all why. Why do customers come to you? And if your uncle or aunt or family member come to you and say, can you give us advice? The answer is to give us solutions or to ask a question. Yeah, you know that. That's good. That's smart. That's the first smart thing to do. All right? Once you start asking questions, then you sound smart. Okay, because no one has all the answers. Once you give the wrong answer, oh, I don't want to hear from you anymore. You gave me the wrong answer. Okay, ask questions. No one can blame you for asking bad questions. Okay, so you're going to learn faster and you're going to look professional for longer before they cut you out. Okay, now on this side, this is what we're going to do this over the next 2 days. We're going to focus on the right-hand side. That is signals, measurements, creating stories with a strategy map. You're going to create stories today with a strategy map. They're going to be awesome stories. This is the why. You know that this is why you're in business. You never see this. This is the systems that makes the business come alive. And obviously you don't see much of this. But we're going to try and get you to do that in homework for Thursday. There'll be 2 lots of homework for you to do by Thursday. A handout to you. Your first homework is on the back of a lesson plan for today.